My name is Charles. Once again, this is for my oral examination, which is the second part, and we'll be discussing depreciation. So in depreciation, it directly describes the reduction of a value of particular asset through a systematic computation or a systematic manner until the value becomes zero or negligible. So what do we mean by systematic manner? Why does it have to be a systematic manner? So when it comes to depreciation, this introduces how we utilize a particular asset. So it also involves the useful life of an asset. So not every asset is utilized the same way, or their function is quite different to one another. So this would mean their useful life is varies from others useful life because they're not utilized the same way. Others may be relying on their value, like how much they cost, and they would just depreciate on a specific manner, and the others are scaled through units of production, where this may indicate hourly usage or how much they print out or how much production they have done over a course of a year instead of a total value of depreciation. Nevertheless, for better understanding of depreciation, it's basically related how much benefit that an asset can only provide on a certain year until it won't be giving any benefit anymore, since it will become zero or negligible since it has a timed life. So as we move on to it, they have formulas. This is where the systematic manner as well enters. We have different methods to quantify how depreciation occurs on different items when we utilize them. So we have the straight line method, units of production method, and double declining method. Of course, the straight line method, the most simplest of them all, and basically this would calculate the annual depreciation expense or the rate of the depreciation of a certain item. So you can see asset cost subtracted the residual cost or residual value over its useful life of the asset, you get the expense, or at what rate does the asset depreciate. And unit of production method, this is the one I was referring to earlier, whereas the asset, when it's being utilized, it's per unit depreciation on per unit being produced. So the asset cost, of course, subtracted to residual value over the useful life in measured to the units of production. And then once we get that, in order to get the total depreciation expense, we would use the per unit depreciation and how much it actually produced, or how much was it used. Once again, this is not limited to produced, but it can also be translated to how much was it used in hours on a different scale. And lastly, double declining method. As it states for itself, it's an accelerated rate when it comes to depreciating rate. That's why you can see as well in the formula, 2 multiply the straight line depreciation percent multiplied to the book value at the beginning of the account period. So this is one way to accelerate and to see a better accelerated version, if anything. And as we can see in the example here, let's just say a taxi company buys a car worth 200,000, yes, and the useful life of the car is 10 years with a residual value of 50,000. So the ADE, of course, it stands for AD, annual depreciation expense. So as you can see here, if we follow the formula, 200,000 minus 50,000 divided by 10, we'd be left out of the rate, or the rate of depreciation would be on 15,000. That would be the expense annually when it comes to depreciating of the asset. So on a table, on a scale of statistics, we would see this like this from year, we mentioned here at 10 years, correct? And you can see every year we depreciate the value of that particular asset. It started from 200,000, minusing from 15,000. Net book value in the first year would be 185,000 until, once again, until when it comes to definition of depreciation, it becomes zero negligible. But at this point, we mentioned at 10 years. So in 10 years, we expect the residual value of 50,000. As you can see, the pattern goes on until 50,000. And essentially, that would be depreciation.